Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your job
chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
You would have to actually have to go to work.
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked.
Why are you arguing this? Like, come on, bro. What are you getting out of this argument? Do you think that they're gonna stop making their money because what you do is harder? They're not. They're gonna go to sleep, wake up, brainstorm, shoot the idea. All right. Hopefully it works. Take a couple takes, then they're gonna send it to their editor, and they're gonna get a thumbnail, and the cycle's gonna repeat, and you're gonna be doing whatever it is you do all the time.
Okay, all right, so my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Facts.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing.
Like you said, because you don't like it, that doesn't make it harder. All right. I hate to say this. Just because you don't enjoy it does not make it harder. All right. Somebody is telling you what to do. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know your week. You know your day. If these members of the FaZe Clan do not know what they're doing for the next couple months, they are going to be losing a lot of money. If you don't show up for the next couple months, you will be losing a lot of money, but it won't be the same.
You're right. You get up every day. You go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up. You go. You flip some patties.
Nah.
Maybe you sign a few envelopes. Answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of
Bullshit.
people critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You
have.
guys got it made, man. I wish I had
We
it made
don't-
like y'all.
we don't have to
I
go-
wish.
You wish, but you're not doing it. If you are over the age of 40, 30, you know how easy it could be for you to get on. So if somebody taught you social media, you know how easy it could be. When I see older people playing the game, I at least watch for 5 minutes every time. The job you work is chosen. You choose to do it. I'm not saying if you choose to do streaming, you're gonna be successful, but like, bro, that's a stupid argument. No one talks to athletes like this.
We
You
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day,
God, I have
and
to
got
stream
dogs,
today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and kick back and get paid
I don't
big
even.
money.
We're not even.
He does not. He clearly doesn't understand. Do you know how hard it is to entertain people? Do you know how much harder it is to entertain people by yourself? People be walking into work, don't want to talk to nobody. But you think you're going to get on stream and have all the energy in the world? It don't work like that. It don't work like that. People just don't respect it. That's the only thing.
At home, we're walking around.
Man,
We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit
stuff.
I got to slave just for not even 100,000 a year. I got to work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No.
Exactly. Their money is not guaranteed. They got to make that with their deals. First, you got to get on. You have to get partnered. Then maybe subs, ad revenue. Bro.
steady rate.
You're not guaranteed?
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as
Yeah,
that.
but you have a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't
just
get paid
to
either.
collect.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is boring. We don't like this video. You have to create content. Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F this 9 to 5 shit.
If
So become a streamer. Whoa. What a revelation.
streaming is so easy, How come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day, too.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in
Professionals.
public without 10 kids coming up and asking for a picture. Do you know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever.
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's gonna last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook,
he gotta
you
grind.
have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
Get a job. Get a job. But guess what, miss? He doesn't have to. He already has a job. It's called streaming. Social media, you know? The thing that's paying them millions and millions of dollars.
I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your YouTubers? You had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work. Oh my God, did I just cuss at you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers, I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever. He would have to turn.
The internet would literally have to go dark for that to happen. That's not how the internet works. Shout out her, but that is not how the internet works. The internet will have to go dark for all of these people to lose all of their followers. It wouldn't happen. They all have millions across all. So, impossible.
You're proving my point.
You would have
You're
to
proving
turn
my
around.
point. You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You could be a private chef. You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, this is the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find.
And this is why the 9-to-5er can't win. They can't win. That funny for that, but you can't win. Because this right here, it's going, every dollar made from this video is going right back into the company that pays these dudes. So I'm glad that all these people showed up to speak their piece. But in the end, it don't matter because they're going to get paid. FaZe Clan is going to get paid. And they're going to stream tonight and tomorrow and make the same money. And y'all are going to go home and work whatever job you work and get paid the same money you did yesterday.
I gotta make sure, I gotta make sure I get the 4 Loco can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you,
From
Rhonda.
Pinewood, 35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
you get
Rhonda,
spoiled.
can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done
You
it?
get spoiled. No.
Rhonda,
You get spoiled, and your mama and
Rhonda,
daddy keep
Rhonda,
giving it to you.
Rhonda,
Because
guys, I got a
did
question
it.
for Rhonda. I got a
did
question
it.
for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight,
24
hours a day.
day and night. No break.
We all streamed for
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
You know how
day
hard
were
it is
you a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad?
You
When have you
clean
ever
up
ran? You
vomit,
never ran a
you
3-minute ad?
pass
I ain't even doing that for pay.
trays, you short-handed. You
Talk
don't
about the
have
fake
enough.
relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now keep.
It's fake
Think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging
got
you
caught with
based on
my
it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. Do you.
Makes it easier for 9 to 5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah, when you go to
guaranteed.
work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you?
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one
9 to
aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker,
Okay.
working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer, yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas, you have to stay relevant. There
Oh,
was
we're talking about ideas now. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
what do you-
talking about pay.
okay, so what do you want to
that's
start with
one
though?
way that
But
Y'all are not coming up with ideas at Panera Bread. All right, what is this dude talking about? When you work at Panera Bread, when you work at McDonald's, you are not coming up with ideas. You are doing your job, what is told for you to do. Why do they keep moving the goalposts?
doesn't
Easier.
make, but
Well,
you're not
you started
even,
with
you're not
pay.
even, you keep switching it, so why
I'm
don't you
not
answer my
switching
question?
anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming, I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that you need
difficult.
creativity, you need to
Okay.
get out of your circle,
Sure.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the people that
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true. But you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
Yeah.
Entertainment is a job. People watch the NBA. People watch the NFL. People watch The Voice. People watch America's Got Talent. What are we talking about here?
Entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to
doesn't
you
have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you can sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example,
Yeah, yeah.
is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense of
hard
every
Get this dude off my screen, please. He just wants to win an argument, bro. That's why I hate debates, bro.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. I know. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right. 9 to 5. Hey, look good though. Hey, we good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home, but if
Yo. Bro, you could tell content creators' minds, bro. As soon as she said that, bro, all their faces changed when she said that, boy.
Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home. But if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect. And I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other
So
opportunities.
you're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just like an answer.
Once again, that is a choice. She went to LA, something, whatever in her life happened, and she chose to stop. Everything is a choice. I hate to be this person, but everything that happens is a choice. She decided to not do social media anymore, or she got irrelevant and then she chose to stop and do something else. It's still a choice. I'm not following.
A couple. So you're saying like to go back to the beginning, you're saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home, like.
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
So
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
was about to
completely.
k-
About to kill myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9-to-5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making
It was
more than my
serious,
rent.
yeah.
So I was
You
losing.
were in the red every month.
I was in the
I
red
got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she laughing, bro.
Yeah, why is she laughing? It's real funny. It's real funny.
I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege.
It is.
But my mom.
No, I hate to break this to you, America. Some people have good parents. I know, it's taboo. It's amazing. But some people have good parents.
Wait, how's that privilege? Before I
It's
even go there?
privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What
take.
And he was in high school.
That's a
9 to
whole different
5s.
discussion. So a lot of people don't have houses,
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept
but that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privilege?
With your mom. Do you know how hard it is to live in LA? By yourself? But your mom was taking care of 2 people.
I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money.
And he would still do it. Can the people around him say they would do the same? Probably not.
You just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings,
But
to have an audience. And
If you make it. It's not true. Not everybody gets paid from doing it. It's not true. It's not guaranteed pay. That's what people don't understand. Some people get paid. Kai gets paid. Aiden gets paid. Speed gets paid. DDG gets paid. FaZe Clan gets paid. All these other people who are trying don't get paid from doing this. They do it simply because they want to try it. Just because you start something don't mean you're getting paid from it. This is not a guaranteed thing. Shout out to Kick, but Kick ain't paying every person just because you turn on a camera. What are you talking about right now? It's like this conversation gets brought up and people just forget like how the world works. They genuinely forget how life works.
You still have residuals of your previous viral videos, even if people are hating on you and shit.
Because he made it. The 3 years where he wasn't making money, it's called a grind. All right? I don't care what you do, you got to grind at some point. You can't get mad because their grind paid off more than yours.
On you, that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to school.
So were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good. So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing. It's a
Okay. I hate to break it to you, but a lot of streamers do the same thing over and over again until they figure out that they have to do something different. All right. They have to figure out how to pivot, whether that be through a friend, whether that be through a mentor.
Okay, but check it
You're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen,
But you choose to work for said boss that could fire you at any moment. That is a choice. Certain things in life, just because you have to deal, just because it's a responsibility, don't make it not a choice. If you decide to have a kid, that is your choice to have said kid. You chose to do whatever you did to make sure that that kid came to be. Kids do not just pop up out of thin air. You don't get tapped on the nose and a kid pops up. I'm sorry. That's not how that works. Something has to occur for kids to be made. I'm pretty sure we all learned this. So to say, oh, I got to do this for my kid and this and that. Yes, you do have to do it for your kid. You owe that kid. But you chose to have him. You chose to do whatever it was you were doing to have said kid.
Yeah.
Come on now.
for which stages?
All of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was
Was it just you?
To become a college professor, you got to know somebody. You can't just become a college professor. Somebody saw something. Let's not act like we live this life alone. Anybody who's anywhere, in any decent spot, got help from someone else. They needed a footstool. Or a foothold.
Like,
No. It
Okay.
was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it
did
didn't
in the previous
exist,
voice.
if it didn't exist, you couldn't press
So the
play, you
fact-
couldn't press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just
a-
talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on, then
Yeah.
boom, there you go.
Right, but I
Yeah,
also
I
had
have
to
a
spend
campus to
years
teach.
earning my credentials and master.
So did they. They didn't start yesterday. Gang?
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get paid
raised.
to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
brother.
You guys just,
I know how to do a three-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is
So
very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all
Bet.
day. You never sit down.
I hear you, I hear you. I
built a house.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your
Just
job
chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
So
your
thing
job
is-
isn't
your
physically
thing is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So your whole thing.
doesn't get that.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No,
physical.
but
I'm saying that
I
a
just-
9 to
y'all let
5
me talk for a
job where
second.
you physically have to do some hauling around stuff.
So
and
physically, I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a mic.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller
Talk to
and
him.
make a 200K montage.
Talk
You
to him.
can't.
Come on, man.
No one in here can.
Come on, man.
None of you could.
But you
none
can
of
go carry
you-
some, just
none of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
It's
yes.
taking them 4 days to hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is
Yes,
never
I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No,
all
no.
of the
Wait,
things
wait.
that you
Stop.
use?
No, no. Listen.
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
Bro.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable
Elgato?
resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample,
Oh my God.
my montage is fucked.
You have
Your main underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day
more-
to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and
Yeah.
hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How
think
many
any of you
hours
guys
a
ever do.
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long
day,
I needed
12
to.
hours a day
however
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 1010. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be
Y'all
in the
laughing,
right
he's not
spot,
trolling.
throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down. I gotta have my rotations.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick drip.
Stick drift.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing, but that's happening.
Very true. It's happened. It's happened. It's happened. A YouTuber or streamer just got, and I'm pretty sure his girl got hit too. Just got in downtown Vegas, on the strip, gone, doxxed, blicked. Blicked down. With a with a tactical shotgun.
Recently, I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
was-
Yeah.
My name is Thelma. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Oh man.
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not interacting with people like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
Interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
Wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me. Come
There's
on.
millions of people who watch the video who
Yes.
save lives every day.
Yes.
Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out and to the clubs at night, staying out till 2-3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was
to
having
get-
fun.
Who told you to go to the club? You chose to go to the club. No one dragged you to that club. What are you talking about? You knew you had to get up at 6 a.m. and you still went to the club. I mean, I'm not saying it's on you, but like, how you gonna get mad at them because you went to the club?
This.
Okay, now
What kind of shit's going on?
you go to the club, you get to put some shades on, and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that your
drunk,
choice?
You're high. You're
But is
hungover.
that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You
do you
chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't. We
And
can't
that's what's
do what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9 to 5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
You know how?
All right, bro. That's enough of that.